Hey guys, and welcome on in to another episode of Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. I'm your host, Terry Edelman, at TE Picks over on X, ready to break down the Monday slate. Only 4 games to go over today. Of course, we'll have a bigger slate tomorrow, 13 games to go over tomorrow, before we head into the Christmas break. So there'll be 3 days with no hockey, which is going to feel really weird over this next Christmas break, but having said that, we will start the show as we normally do, taking a look back at what happened on the last show for yesterday. And unfortunately, losing day here on the show yesterday. Starting with this game, Wild money line loses. Just a horrible spot for the Wild, having to face Connor McDavid and Draisaitl one night, and then having to face Makar and McKinnon the next. So no excuses, though. Lots of teams have to play on back-to-backs, but took a chance with the Wild at this price, but unfortunately not one of their best games, and they end up losing. Tage Thompson did not score, so that was unfortunate. And then Brady Tkachuk did not score, and unfortunately didn't hit his shots on goal either. It was just a off game there. Great game for the Senators overall, but Tkachuk, his goal streak comes to an end, and his shots on goal streak comes to an end on Sunday. NHL was rough for me, but I went 4-0 in NFL, so that was nice. I needed a bounce back in NFL, but fortunately, not the best night in the NHL. Did cash my premium play on the over in Ottawa and Boston. That cashed pretty easily in that one. Good vibes. Hey, Nicholas, how's it going? Nice to see you. And hi, Terry. Hi, Timothy. How's it going? But we're going to jump into today's slate. Pre-warning, I don't have a lot of plays today. So if you're expecting a ton of plays, unfortunately, this is not the slate for that. But jumping into our first game, the St. Louis Blues plus 200 road dogs, Tampa Bay minus 245 home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here in our first game. Goaltenders for this one, Jordan Binnington confirmed for St. Louis, 7-7-6, 3.41 goals against average, 873 save percentage. Andrei Vasilevsky for Tampa Bay, 12-7-2, 2.38 goals against average, 911 save percentage. And how Team Canada could possibly be considering Jordan Binnington for their starting goaltender makes zero sense to me. As a Canadian, I think he's one of the last goalies that should be starting in goal. But that's we'll have that discussion closer to the Olympic time. But Tampa Bay obviously has goaltending advantage, and they obviously have forward defense advantage. Defense, they still have injuries, but Tampa Bay 5-2 in the last 7 meetings between the teams. 3 of the last 4 have gone under 5.5, so lower scoring meetings, and the home team has won 7 of the last 8 between these two teams. So Tampa struggles in St. Louis, but St. Louis struggles in Tampa in previous meetings. How are these two teams doing as of late? The Blues coming off a 6-2 win in Florida in their last game, 14-15-8, 7-7-3 on the road. Tampa Bay 19-13-3 in the season, 9-9 at home. They're also coming off a 6-4 win against Carolina in their last game, ending their 3-game losing streak. When I look at this game from a side perspective, like I said, I like Tampa Bay to win this game, but minus 245 favorites, not much you can do there. Not really interested in the puck line here, just with how Tampa Bay has played recently. Don't exactly trust them to cover a puck line in this spot. Shots on goal streaks. Darren Radish over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 145. He's done that in 4 games in a row. Point streaks. Justin Falk has a point in 4 of his last 5 for the St. Louis Blues, plus 167. Goal streaks, not a whole lot. Jonathan Berggren has scored in back-to-back games since coming over here to St. Louis. He's had success. Plus 575. for Berggren to score if you think he can keep up his recent success. And then assist streaks, not a whole lot here. Jake Gensel, Braden Point, both 3 of their last 5 games, plus 110 for Gensel, plus 126 for Point. And then Robert Thomas assist, plus 126. 3 of his last 5 games, but in 4 or 5 against Tampa Bay, he has had an assist. So he's had success against the Lightning recently as well, but ultimately not getting to anything here in this game. Let's see here. What's good, Terry? Let's go. Hey, how's it going? Nice to see you, Kev. Hi, Terry, first-time listener. Thanks, Carl. I appreciate you being here. Berggren, plus 650, been cashing. Yeah, back-to-back games with the goal. I could see him scoring here again. Welcome, Carl. And Kev saying hello. But we'll move on along. And first-time listener, I'm sorry. This is not like the worst show for a first-time listener, but with the slate today, I just don't have a lot of plays overall. So I feel bad for that, but that's the slate we're being given here today. Second game is the Vancouver Canucks and the Philadelphia Flyers. Vancouver plus 115, road dogs. Philadelphia at minus 135, home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here. This one, goaltenders, Thatcher Demko confirmed for Vancouver. He's been amazing, especially recently. 8-5, 2.34 goals against average, 912 save percentage. Dan Vladar is confirmed, but it was mentioned that he's somewhat of a game-time decision, dealing with an upper body injury, kept him out of the last game. Does sound like he's going to play tonight, but he's obviously not 100%. 12-5-3, 2.41 goals against average, 910 save percentage for Vladar. Previous games between these two teams, Philly, they've won 3 of the last 4, and 6 of the last 7 between these two teams have gone under 5.5. I think the under is a good look here. I kind of do want to make sure if it is Vladar and if he's good to go against Thatcher Demko, I would go with the under here. And I'm not really much of an under bettor, that's for sure, but I think this game probably ends 2-1. That's my thoughts in this one. So we'll see who can get the win in this one. Looking at previous or how these two teams have been playing recently, Vancouver won 4 games in a row. 2-1 against the Devils, 3-0 against the Rangers, and 4-1 against the Islanders. All 3 games Thatcher Demko started, gave up 2 goals total during those 3 games. Then Lankinen started the last game, a 5-4 shootout win for Boston. So much higher scoring game there. In that one, Philly, they've lost 4 of their last 5 of their last 6 games overall. Urson has started back-to-back. He's given up 5 goals in both games. Vladar, obviously the better goaltender here this season for the Flyers. Looking at player props here, I really do lean with Jake DeBrusk over 0.5 point, which is around plus 110. He's got a point in 4 of his last 6 against the Flyers, as well as 4 of his last 5 games, 5 of his last 7. So Jake DeBrusk has been doing really well. I kind of wanted him on the top line, but I do see that the top line is Evander Kane, Marco Rossi, and Brock Besser. Second line, Jake DeBrusk, David Kampf, and Connor Garland. Really would like DeBrusk on that top line for me to pull the trigger. He is in the top power play unit, though, so Jake DeBrusk point at plus money is definitely a good look. But with the fact that I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, especially if I think it's going to be 2-1, which I do think it's going to be really low scoring, I don't want to get to player prop in a game that I think could very well end 2-1. So lean with the under here in this one. Comment, share, like, subscribe. Thanks, Subaru. Best of luck tonight. Understand about the small slate. Yeah, it's a tough one, but it's all good. Canucks money line plus 115, praying for Urson. It's supposed to be Vladar, but Flyers in Chicago tomorrow. Yes, quite a few teams. Well, there's only 8 teams playing today, but a few of them are playing again tomorrow. So back-to-backs. Primetime game on TNT. Oh, this one is okay. I've heard those games have been kind of trending towards the over, but I don't know if that happens here. I don't. But we will move on along to our third game, which is the Columbus Blue Jackets and the LA Kings. Columbus plus 145, road dogs. The LA Kings minus 170, home favorites, and a total of 5.5 here in this one. Looking at starting goalies here for this one. Unconfirmed. Jack Reeves against Forsberg is what's projected here. Jack Reeves 8-9-5, 2.77 goals against average, 903 save percentage. Forsberg 5-4-3, 2.69 goals against average, 900 save percentage heading into this game. Previous games between these two teams, so it's really interesting. When I was looking at past games between these teams, it's really interesting the stats here. So where these teams are playing really matters a lot. Whether they're in LA or if they're in Columbus. LA overall 6-0-2 in the last 8 meetings, 2 overs, or for a total of 5.5, 3 overs and 1 under. In LA, the last 7 games have ended in regulation, but in Columbus, the last 5 games have gone to overtime. So it's really weird how that works. In LA, games end in regulation. In Columbus, the draw is a great look. LA has won 12 of the last 14 games between these two teams in LA. I do think the Kings get the win here, but I have no interest in backing them. Obviously, at minus 170, I would have to look at them in regulation because for new viewers, minus 130 is my cutoff point, maybe minus 135. But really, for me, I like plus money. So for me, minus 130 is basically about my cutoff point. And both of these teams have lost 4 of their last 5 games. The Kings 4-6-4 at home. They've been a much better road team. This game, like the other two, is just tricky. The value is on Columbus here, but I think LA wins. That being said, I'm not convinced they win in regulation. And even if they did win in regulation, that would probably be in the minus 120 range, I would assume. So this game, unfortunately, is another pass. I do have a play in the last game, so don't worry about that. But looking at shots and goal streaks here in this one, not a lot of guys consistent. Trevor Moore, over 1.5 shots and goal. It's minus 128. He's done it in 4 of his last 5 games, but also 5 of his last 6 against Columbus. So Trevor Moore likes to shoot the puck against Columbus, but at minus 128. Technically in my range, but that's more for sides. Player props, I don't really like to go past minus 120 unless I absolutely have to. Point streaks, not a whole lot. Charlie Coyle has a point in back-to-back games for Columbus. Alex Ferrier, 3 of his last 5 for LA. Goal streaks, nobody here in this one. Assist streaks, Werenski, but he's day-to-day. Obviously, that's something to keep an eye on if Werenski plays. I don't think he's going to. Would be my guess here. So again, that makes me lean towards the Kings, but no play here in this one. Oh, Flyers versus Blackhawks. Okay. Morning, Terry and friends. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Hope all is well. Over 5.5. For this game, I could see that. But we will move on along to our final game, which is the Seattle Kraken and the Anaheim Ducks. Seattle, plus 160, road dogs. The Ducks, minus 190, home favorites, and a total of 6.5 here in the final game of the night. Joey Decord, unconfirmed. Lucas Dostal, unconfirmed. I would assume it would be both of those goaltenders. But Seattle, I believe actually both of these teams. No, Seattle plays tomorrow. Anaheim does not. So this is Anaheim's final game before the break. But Seattle plays tomorrow. So it could be Grubauer. It could be Decord here in this one. Previous games between these two teams, Seattle 9-2 in the last 11 games between these two teams. But Anaheim's won 2 of the last 3. So the Kraken have dominated the Ducks overall for a long time. But the Ducks have been getting more recent success in recent meetings. When it comes to the total here, 2 overs, 7 unders in recent games. So we kind of do see some lower scoring games overall between these two. But I would not go anywhere near the under in this one, just because of how both teams are playing recently. Seattle broke their losing streak against the Sharks. Of course, sadly, the Sharks' money line was my best bet on picks and parlays in that one. But 4-2 win in their last game, 4-2 before that, 5-3, 3-1 against Buffalo, 5-3 against Utah. So high-scoring games. And Anaheim, 3 overs in a row. 4-3 loss in overtime to Columbus, 8-3 loss to Dallas, and then a 4-3 win against the Blue Jackets in their last game. So Anaheim is playing very well offensively right now. If I was going to get to a side/total here in this one, I would look at the Ducks team total. I think that's a good look. I think they can get to 4 goals here in this game. But for me, give me Mikael Granlund over half a point plus 100 as my only prop of the day here in this one. I do have a premium side play over on picksandparlays.net. Link is in the description below. But when I look at this one here, Mikael Granlund has been on a heater these last 3 games. So 3 games in a row with a point, 2 multi-point games, both against Columbus. So 2 points against Columbus, 1 against Dallas, and then 2 in the last game against Columbus. He scored in all 3 games and then has an assist in 2 of the 3. So Mikael Granlund is red hot right now, and he has a point in 7 of his last 8 games against Seattle. So for whatever reason, Mikael Granlund really likes to play the Kraken, mostly assists for him when he faces Seattle. So plus 100 for a guy on a point streak the last 3 games and a guy that's had a lot of success against the Kraken. I'll take him here. No, he's not on either power play unit, and he is on the third line. So that would be the negatives. But regardless, really hot right now. I do think this is a high-scoring game. And being on that third line, he's obviously going to get better defensive matchups. So we'll take Granlund, Mikael Granlund, over half a point plus 100. Here in this one. Let me see if there are other players on streaks here in this game. Shots and goal streaks with value. Chandler Stevenson over 1.5 shots and goal plus 115. He's done that in 4 of his last 5 and 8 of his last 10 games. Same thing with Shane Wright. Over 1.5 shots and goal plus 115. 4 of his last 5, 7 of his last 10. So I would be looking at Shane Wright and Chandler Stevenson shots and goal props. And if you want to bet a Kraken prop, Chandler Stevenson has a point in 8 games in a row, minus 114. He's been on a heater. Tolvanen, 3 games in a row, minus 111. Mentioned Granlund already. And then Jackson Lacombe has been good recently for the Ducks. Goal scoring streaks, Chandler Stevenson, 4 games in a row, plus 410. For Stevenson to score, and then Granlund plus 380, 3 games in a row for him. So if you are looking at goal scoring props, Granlund, Stevenson, both definitely have value here. And then assists, Eli Tolvanen, 3 games in a row with an assist, plus 177 for the Seattle Kraken here in this game. Let's go to here. Ducks first period minus a half. That's interesting. I don't have the stats for first period, so I don't know how Seattle does in the first period, but I could see the Ducks coming out strong here. I hit on McCarr, McDavid, and Jason Robertson. Very nice, Marcus. A goal-scoring prop, I'm guessing, because all three scored. Very nice. Good morning. Hey, Detroit Rocker. How's it going? Kings in overtime? Well, like I said in that game, in LA, the last 7 games have ended in regulation, so no overtime. And the last 5 games in Columbus have gone to overtime. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean Kings won't go to overtime here, but I would lean more with the regulation. But then neither team interests me from a side perspective. So I do think the Kings win, but not going to put my money on it. That's for sure. But that's today's slate. 4 games for today. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. 13 games on the slate tomorrow for the final slate before the holidays. So thank you guys for watching. Best of luck tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Picks on Net, NHL Picks and Stats. Thanks, guys.